One month you're crushing workouts, the next month you can't even find your shoes. I see this all the time in our world and our word and wellness online community. Women in every stage of life, you go from faithful with fitness to I don't know where fitness is at, and women in every stage are learning in the community to stay faithful with fitness, no matter what the season. Fitness isn't about perfection; it's about staying faithful through every chapter. And I'm gonna go through some ways to help you out today. Welcome to the I was going to say, welcome to the Drew Cost Show. That's not the podcast name. Welcome to the Built Different podcast. I'm your host, Drew Cost, where we're discussing faith, family, and fitness. So today we're talking about the fitness lane. All right, how do you become faithful in every season of your fitness journey? I'm going to teach you today. So the scripture I would probably lean towards, if you want to look this up, some biblical reference is Ecclesiastes 3:1. Really, really good chapter to read in the Amplified version and in the Message version. But this verse basically says there is a time for everything. Right? God designed rhythms and seasons. Our wellness should honor the rhythms and seasons. When I first got into fitness training, I did not understand that. So for me, I just literally thought when you train people, they should always show up the same way, same intensity, no matter what they're going through, because everyone has the same 24 hours. Right? Everyone does technically have the same 24 hours, but a mom of two with help versus a mom of one with no help, drastically different. Drastically different. So instead of doing what I did in the beginning, which was you need to get it in no matter what, as I grew and as I just sought the Lord more and as I just dealt with more people, I started realizing that fitness is rhythms and seasons. And this has actually helped how I actually train people in our community, right? If you're in a season of high stress and big transitions, you probably don't need to be competing in fitness right now, or you probably don't need to be doing 5 hour workouts. There are things that can work in each season, and we're going to talk about that in a little more deeper today. So, the four life seasons and like your fitness is gonna probably be like your growth season. That's where it feels like it's spring. Like your busy season. That's where it feels like summer. Right. Transition season. Right. I've come out of that one. Those are rocky. That's when it feels like fall. And then your rest season, which feels like winter. So let's say your growth season, which is like spring. Maybe you got a new job, new motivation, fresh start. I usually see this where people get new motivation sometimes when they are not with a mate. Like sometimes if they get like if they stop dating somebody, like this crazy, it's kind of false motivation comes where they need to conquer everything. Or let's just say you move to a different job, you got a fresh start. You don't have to be dealing with some things you dealt with before. It feels new. So in this season, right, the fitness focus is like building habits, like progressive strength, new routines. This is where you're open to trying new things. Like you're open to making some mistakes. You want to try maybe a new gym. And that season comes, right? But the tip for that is to set measurable, but like grace filled goals. Because I'm going to always say, no matter how you are feeling, like life will still be happening no matter what season you are in. It's just how you're approaching it. Right? A community example for us is like members in the spring, like they love like beginner friendly workouts and like shared devotionals to start strong. In this season, in this growth spring season, like now a busy summer season, that's where like you're raising kids, your the careers in a different place, the schedule's heavy, right? We see this a lot when it comes to like homeschoolers, homeschool moms and stuff like that. Some summer seasons you're like trying to run to get them to every event so they have something to do. Maybe the career is changing, and the fitness focus at that time is just like maintenance and efficiency. What can I do to keep me going? Like right now, I'm currently riding. If you're hearing in the back, I'm currently riding my spin bike because we were juggling a couple things and I wanted to get this episode in. That busy summer season is like, what can I do so it's still efficient, right? That's when we go to like those short workouts, maybe a 15 to 20-minute workout, right? That's when we trade like a quick 20-minute routine in the group for like that perfect hour, perfect crazy workout. You're still moving. You're just not doing an hour. And someone might say, I can hear someone in the comments saying, like, that's not enough. I can tell you, for example, when my transitions were happening, I got to the gym super early, and it was like a 23-minute all out assault. And then I was leaving. Something is better than nothing. And sometimes you start learning that if I can be really, really efficient with my time, like maybe go at a time when no one's really there a lot, or go to a gym where there's not a lot of talkers. Right. I remember going to a gym before, and I would time like how long it took for someone. If you guys are here running, Aaliyah is in the house being an acrobat. I would time how much conversations I was having, and it's not saying conversations are bad, but I was on a tight schedule, so all that time I was literally like 40 minutes each time, and I was like, I gotta switch my time. I gotta go earlier or go later, but I can't keep using that time up just to talk when I have a full schedule when I leave here, right? So that busy summer season, like a tip, right? 20-minute workout, like kettlebell complexes, walk and pray sessions, walk and run, right? We got some inside of our community. If you're in the community, you get access to that. If you're not, you should get into it, drewcost.com, so we can get you in there. And then you get into that transition fall season. That season is is different. Right? That's where you're probably seeing like a career shift. Maybe you're moving across town. Maybe you're doing like what we did when we moved across the state. We moved 18 hours away. That was rough. Maybe you're sending your kids to college. Menopause. It can be a lot of things that make you feel like, Drew, this fall season is spicy. It's spicy, brother. With this, like the fitness focus may be like just like flexibility, mobility, recalibration. It may be, hey, maybe I just do 3 days of stretching and 2 days of walking, right? The tip is like add the mobility days, reassess your nutrition, do what you can during those seasons. I found out through transitions, that's where people start getting relaxed on the fitness and in the nutrition. So I'm like, if you can't get to the gym, let's find out how to make our nutrition as best as we can. So we're not literally just like destroying both. And I'm not saying it's easy, and this is why people hire coaches or communities, because you need help doing that, right? And a community example for that is like for members, we encourage one another through shifts and changes, right? We have in our community where a lady, amazing lady, does some heavy work, like mental heavy work. So like we have people on the team now. It's like, hey, you take a day to say prayer for her. You take a day. These people are going through mad stuff. Let's combat this with prayer in the community. And then you have like that rest winter season, right? Which people skip, but it usually comes back up over and over again. This is where you have like grief, maybe illnesses, like burning out, like a spiritual wilderness season, right? I always think of the winter season now as being a season where you get to slow your behind down, like slow down and find out, where should I be in this season spiritually, mentally, physically, right? That season is sometimes like just gentle movement. It's sometimes breath work, and breath work is not new age. They stole it from Jesus. It's in the Bible. That's soul care. Maybe those movements are I'm gonna go to a mall and do my walks. Right. I'm gonna call a friend and we walk together. I'm gonna always encourage some form of movement. It may not look the same as every season, but I'm always gonna encourage some type of movement because movement is medicine to the body. Right? An example that we had in our community was like our monthly devotions and prayers. Like they become like lifelines in the season. It's like do this devotional for 4 minutes, do this prayer for 4 minutes, and do this exercise for 4 minutes. Something is better than nothing. Now, some faith practices that you can do to like anchor in every season that you're in, whether it's the fall season, the winter, the spring, or the summer, is praying before you plan your workouts. Like we give you a plans that you can follow, but I mean pray before you go into the gym or in your space. Like God, minister to me today through this workout. Show me why working out and movement is something that you've created for me. And I'm a big I'm big on journaling. Like journaling the wins and the struggles. So that when you start seeing the struggles change and the wins change, You have record of it to go back and be like, I remember in this season where, man, I was just eating everything under the sun. Now I see myself in this next season where I have a little bit more control. Or I remember last season where winning for me was just getting to the gym once. Now I'm getting to the gym 3, 4 times a week. Right? One reason why I started the Word and Wellness community is so no one has to walk this thing out alone. I've trained tons of people. I've seen many people literally give up because they're trying to combat this alone. And let me tell you, when you are going towards a spiritual season of trying to make your body healthy and things like that, the enemy is going to attack, right? He's going to bring up all cycles of failing, cycles of shame, condemnation, perfectionism, all of those things, guilt, so that you don't actually move forward. With a community, you get to point out, wait, this is what's happening. I'm feeling this. Has anybody else felt this? And you get support from the community. Like our prayer threads and check ins, they keep us connected. Like our huddles, we have huddles on Wednesdays in the mornings, right before people go to work. They keep us connected, but they keep us anchored in God. Right now, a practical action plan that you can take if you got a pen or you're writing down, if you're driving, don't do this while you're driving. Have a self check. Which season am I in? All right, and then after that, identify one small sustainable movement goal for the next week. Maybe I'm going to get to the gym 15 minutes 3 times this week. You might say, what could you do in 15 minutes? You'd be amazed. Or I'm going down to the garage, to the basement to do my workouts 3 times a week. However it is, but identify one small sustainable goal for this week coming up. And I want to know what it is. After that, I would say pair it with a spiritual rhythm. While I work out, I'm listening to some scriptures. Or while I work out, I'm quoting a scripture. While I work out, I'm praying. There's a season of my life where I was getting used to a new town, and I, everything was so chaotic that I was just doing my prayer on the actual spin bike, and it was amazing, right? And I want to encourage you to post. If you're listening to this on Facebook or YouTube, post what current season are you in, right? If you're listening to this and you're inside of the community, post like where are you at in this season of your life. Now, so I want to encourage you that God's presence doesn't change with the calendar. So God's with you through all of those seasons: the summer, spring, winter, and fall. And if you're ready, like you're like, Drew, I need the community. If you're ready for workouts, devotions, and a supportive online family that meets you in every season that you're in, join us in the Word and Wellness School community. Like, we not only want to cheer you on, but we want to help you get the results that you deserve. That's the physical results, that's the spiritual results, that's the mental results. And drewcost.com is where you can find that. Or if you're on YouTube, wherever you're at, you can you can DM me. If you're in the community, you're already in there. Be great, guys. I'm out of here.